Nick at Fort Worth Strong, dropping our week 3 of season 4 correctives. So we go through a series of movements at the end of our workout after we get done with our running intervals or our machine intervals. Acts as a great cool down, but it's just to kind of keep the body moving well, work on some posture. We work in or sit in some static holds or stretches, or we'll do some kind of active corrective movements. And so today we've got 5. We'll need a couple things. We've got a heavy resistance band or something thick that we'll use kind of as a strap more than anything. We'll need a bench or some sort of platform, which I'll demonstrate as our last exercise, and then we'll need a wall, something securely we can kind of press our feet against that's not going to move. But first one, we've got a calf stretch. So we're going to take this band, we're going to move it towards the top of the foot, so right below the toes, kind of at that base or the ball of the foot. And then I'm going to grab pretty high on it, so that way I can get a little bit of leverage and pull. And pull that ankle into a good dorsiflexion. And then I'm just going to lay back, trying to avoid letting that band snap me, but we're going to go a minute with that ankle flexion, stretching out the calf. So kind of low, just off the ground here. Minute each side, and then we'll move into the hamstring stretch. Slide that band down a little bit because we are less worried about how flexed the ankle is. We still want to kind of keep an active foot. Grab high again, and this time we'll change the position from just off the ground. But we'll actually pull it up pretty high, so really creating a lot of length through the back of that leg. Everything up top and below is trying to stay as relaxed as possible, minus me grabbing that band and pulling. So a minute here on each side. And then we'll go into our third, which is going to be some rotations through the hip. We got 2 positions that we're going to do. First one's going to be a narrow stance. So I've got a little bit of space between me and the wall. So I'm set up like if I'm at the bottom of my squat. Good squatted position, but my hips are against the ground. Feet are flat against the floor to start. And we're going to work from internal rotation to external rotation. So working the knees together, then working the knees apart. Feet don't have to stay flat. With this, when we rotate, the feet are actually going to move with it. So if I start with the internal rotation, which is going to be easy because they already start pretty close together. And then I'm going to work to my external rotation, letting those feet kind of open up to roll into the outside of the feet. And then back to internal rotation. We'll go a minute, working back and forth between 2 end ranges of motion. So external fully, internal fully with a little squeeze. And I'm trying to do this with a smooth rotation. So I'm trying to avoid the shakiness or letting my back pop off the ground. And then we'll go with the wide stance. So same idea. Now this would be a little bit more challenging for the internal rotation since we've got a wide base and we're about 2 feet apart between my feet, but I'll still work the 2 same positions. So internal fully, external fully, still rolling onto the inside and onto the outside of my feet. And then next one, we'll push ourselves away just a little bit. Our fourth is going to be a figure 4 stretch. So getting into the hip, but I've got 1 foot planted, my knees at 90 degrees, and I'm going to press against the wall a little bit to secure myself. I'm going to take the opposite leg, set up my ankle across the knee so it's supported there. And then if you feel a stretch here, great. We'll just kind of breathe into it. If you need a little bit more, we can assist ourselves by just pressing into that knee, trying to open up the hip a bit more. Spend a minute here in that stretch. Switch our setup, plant that foot, support that ankle, either hold or press and hold for another minute on the opposite side. And then our last one, a couple names for it. So butcher's block is typically going to be elbows on the bench where we drop our chest. This one, we're going to grab the edge of the bench. We're going to get the hips stacked over the knees. That way we get the thoracic spine involved more so than anything. So I am going to kind of tuck my hips so my low back doesn't just collapse and I get that flexion there. I just want to breathe, let my chest fall in this stretch. But nice opener for the lats. Flexion at that upper back should feel pretty good and just kind of help with the proper posture within that. But we'll spend our long stretch there. That's going to be a 2-minute hold to finish out.